A lot of cool tech has come out this year, but by far my favorite has been the Nintendo Switch. From solid hardware to a ton of great titles, Nintendo has given its fans a reason to be thankful in 2017. Even though the Switch has been on the market for less than a year, there's already a ton of great games and accessories for it, and I'm here to tell you about my favorites. I'm Jason with MaslinTech, and this is my Nintendo Switch Holiday Gift Guide. So, I'm going to start with the games, because that's what the Switch is all about. I'm going to give you my favorite single-player, multiplayer, and indie games available now. Starting with the single-player games. Nintendo came out the gate swinging with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's currently sitting on Metacritic as the 12th highest rated game of all time, and in my opinion, should be even higher. Breath of the Wild features a massive open world that the player is free to explore, and hides its secrets in plain sight, like the original Zelda did over 30 years ago. It's challenging, mesmerizing, and a joy to get lost in. But it's not the only massive game Nintendo has made this year. Super Mario Odyssey also cracked Metacritic's top 20 games of all time. Just like Zelda, it's a huge adventure, but at a frenetic pace. While Zelda is a game you can get lost in for hours, Mario is a game you can play in bite-sized pieces and still feel accomplished. I just hit the credits before making this video, and I only collected about 1/3 of the game's total Power Moons, the collectible in Odyssey. Needless to say, it's dozens of hours of fun. Even better, anyone can get into it, as the main game isn't that challenging, but collecting every moon will require a bit of thinking for the hardcore fans. And if you're wanting something a little more classic, Skyrim did just hit the Switch, which is like another 100 hours of gameplay right there. Between those mammoth games are a few multiplayer games worth checking out. From Nintendo, you've got Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, and ARMS. Mario Kart 8 is my favorite Mario Kart to date and is packed with content. While online play exists, couch co-op with friends is easily the way to go. Splatoon 2 and ARMS, on the other hand, excel at online play. Splatoon 2 is Nintendo's version of a family-friendly shooter, and ARMS is boxing at its weirdest. Recently, a couple of bigger third-party titles also hit the Switch, Doom and Rocket League. Both games are frantic, fast-paced, and easy to get hooked on. Rocket League also has a fantastic online community, allowing you to play against PC and Xbox players as well. And finally, there's the smaller indie games. There's some real gems here. You have games like Stardew Valley and The Binding of Isaac that made their way to the Switch from PC, and brand new instant classics like Steamworld Dig 2. There's also this little hidden gem on the Switch called Golf Story. The golfing elements remind me a lot of Mario Golf, and the story half of the game is always entertaining. So, those are the games, but what about the gear? Well, you've got to have a way to store those games, and I'm going digital with the Switch myself, so I've already hit that 32GB limit. There are a few Black Friday deals going on for micro SD cards, like this 128GB SanDisk I got for $30. Moving on, one thing you may not realize about the Switch is that the screen is made of plastic, not glass like on smartphones. What this means is the screen won't shatter when you drop it, but it is a little more prone to scratching. This is where something like the AmFilm screen protectors come in handy. They are made from glass, and will give you that scratch protection that the Switch desperately needs. While I don't use one personally, a friend of mine with 2 younger kids has used one since March, and it's held up pretty well. Best of all, you get 2 of them in the package for $10. Lastly, you can make your Switch stand out with something custom. But as I found out the hard way painting my own Joy-Cons, that custom look doesn't come easy. Thankfully, there are professionals that do a much better job. Colorware does solid work and has a long history of painting Joy-Cons. I've ordered 2 DualShock 4s from them over the years, and they both still work years later. Beyond that, I've seen smaller outfits get even more wild with their custom designs. I'll link them in the description below. These GameCube Joy-Cons are my personal favorites. Well, that's all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave links to everything I talked about in the description below. And let me know, is there anything I didn't talk about on this list that should be on my Christmas list? Let me know below. Once again, this is Jason with MaslinTech. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.